Okay, hi there. So, my avatar's still kind of in the way because they're a little big, but I have a little avatar guy. All right. Oh, the sensitivity is bad. Uh, uh, controller sensitivity. There we go. So, hi, Mr. Fox here, and as you can see, I am doing things. Uh, uh, I want to talk about Sombra. And because Sombra is my favorite DPS in Overwatch, and I I don't particularly enjoy the state of her right now. The whole let me hack you and then goodbye to your body,
Who said you can
and
get this
and
close?
like hack only silences for a second and all that. But we'll get to the current version of Sombra because we still need to talk about old versions of Sombra. So when she was first added to Overwatch 1, her weapon, I don't think it's ever been any different, or any meaningfully different. Like the damage numbers have been adjusted over time. There may have been larger spread at one point, but I don't think so. Not that it's particularly important right now. Then of course you have hack, which would silence you for 6 seconds with no other effect. But you could also pack health packs, and if someone used a health pack, they would get you would get some ult charge from it. So that 200-ish healing would equate to however much ult charge. Um, then you have the opportunities passive. So if you got someone, if someone was below half, you could see them. Though it didn't have the damage bonus on those on hacked targets like it does now. Then there was no virus. Instead, we had stealth, which would last for, I believe, 8 seconds. And then once you exited stealth, it would go on cooldown for I think 6 seconds. Sorry, I am slightly dehydrated. I'm re-recording this video like not like it may be an hour after I woke up. Just because I don't feel like taking like 2 hours editing the avatar manually, which is what I would have done if I didn't get recommended Verotube Mini, that thing. Anyway, uh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, abilities. After stealth, you have the translocator, which it traveled a lot slower than it does now, and it would last like it would land like right here, and then it would stay there for 10 seconds originally, but I think they did at one point increase it to 15 seconds. And then after you translocated, it would go on a 4 second cooldown. And then of course you have EMP, which would do it would apply hack to all targets, including like deployables and things. But it would also come here. Zenyatta, his shield health there would be gone. Which my previous video, when I went to show that off, I was like, this little button right here, EMPs. That was really fun because yeah, it's this little button here, his health would be gone, and then he would just die, because 50 HP is not enough to survive. Um, so yeah, um, that was original Sombra. Her EMP would win fights. Hack, if you used it on the right target at the right time, could win fights sometimes. Um, and you were a little sneaky. You could run around for a few seconds in stealth and then translocate away once you're done with whatever it is you're doing. Um, I do like that original version of Sombra, though it didn't take them very long to take away the ult charge on hacked health packs because that was strong. Uh, imagine being like the defending team on Temple of Anubis, and whenever your teammates have taken damage, they use whatever the mega that you hacked and stuff, and you're just farming ult charge so you can then EMP without having to do damage. It was a whole ordeal, and it got removed. Um, then at one point they decided to make stealth and translocator both last forever until they ended. Um, which also I don't know if the translocator could be destroyed originally, but if not, then this is when they added it. And they added 2 seconds to each cooldown, so stealth became 8 seconds, translocator became 6 seconds. But also translocator's cooldown would begin immediately after either throwing it or it landing, I don't remember. But you would now be able to just hang out forever in stealth, and you would have your translocator just wherever you sat it, just until the end of time. And that's pretty much where Sombra stayed until Overwatch 1 ended. At which point, Overwatch 2 happened. And they took hack, and they made it to where the silence only lasted for like a fraction of the original time. Okay, projectile sizes. Yeah, the hack would only last a fraction of the original time. Well, at least the silence part. The hack itself would technically last for longer than that, because it would now reveal enemies. So, it would reveal people through walls now, and that lasts for 8 seconds. Originally, you were able to hack people when they were already hacked, but they removed that functionality because people did not like being repeatedly perma-hacked. So, yeah. They also made it to where you could hack while in stealth, which, well, at least you could hack health packs while in stealth, but it would reveal you, which is nice. I like not having to exit stealth in order to hack the funny things that aren't people. They also slightly reduced her weapon damage in order to make room for the new addition to Opportunist. That was the bonus damage. Which, let's compare real quick. There's a cat laying on my stepdad's laptop, and she is messing with things so much. Which also, yeah, I haven't really made proper videos in a while because I haven't bothered to use my stepdad's desktop for videos. Apologies. Anyway. I don't think they did anything else beyond the hack and weapon changes. I mean, EMP... Patty on. EMP would no longer delete shield health. You know, it would do, but it now did percent-based damage, like based off of their current health, which I feel like that's a low amount of damage right there on that EMP. Actually, let's see what happens if I get them. Yeah, the percentage seems to be smaller than I thought it was. Anyway, what am I? Where was I? Right. Sorry, I am tired. That's where Sombra started in Overwatch 2, but then they made this rework to Translocator where you would translocate automatically, but you also threw it a lot faster, so, you know, you could go further faster than you did before. But it didn't have the stealth thing on it. That stealth was still an ability at that point. And then, after a while, they decided to change Sombra again. They removed Opportunist entirely, and replaced it with Stealth, which was no longer an ability, it was now a passive. After 1 second of not doing any offensive action or taking any damage, the game would allow Stealth to go on cooldown, which was 2 seconds, and after those 2 seconds ended, you would go into stealth forever. It was still a permanent thing. And, you know, people understandably weren't too fond of that. Especially considering that now they added Virus, which gives her some long-range poke and also just gives her more damage overall. They did compensate for the lack of Opportunist by giving her damage back on her gun, I think. She does have the same damage she did at the end of Overwatch 1, I believe, at the moment. Also, Translocator, when you teleported, it would take 2 seconds off the stealth cooldown. And then the most recent change to Sombra, they took stealth off of the passive and made it be tied to translocating. But they are allergic to letting Sombra have nice things because they originally set the cooldown of translocator to 7 seconds, and now it's 6 seconds, which is still enough that you have to wait 1 second after stealth ends to go back into it. Which, like, I understand that they don't want you to stay in stealth forever, but like you still have to do this to activate it, which makes noise and is visible. Like if you don't notice the Sombra noises, maybe you deserve to be flanked. Anyway. Also, the main problem that we have at this point is how are you supposed to flank with her? Because, like, I have to wait 5 seconds. Because if I go, like, you know, I want to go in here at this point so I can immediately leave. Well, let me wait for the cooldowns to come back. If I instead come over here and instantly do stuff, I am now stranded for 4 more seconds. I have to wait and try not to die before I can leave, which puts artificial restraints on Sombra in what she is allowed to do in a match. And my issue that I've been... Oh, they also reduced the silence duration on hack from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. I know that. I don't know where it's been throughout Overwatch 2, but I know that's where it's gone most recently. And I have issues with what they're doing with Sombra, because they're saying your utility, your mobility, the things that make you special, you're not allowed to have that. Just kill things instead. Where is the flavor? Where is it? Please, tell me, Overwatch. Blizzard? Blizzard, where is the flavor? And, like, I do enjoy current Sombra. I enjoy deleting people sometimes. She's still my favorite DPS. But it's just annoying that they don't want her to have her special stuff anymore. Because, like, if I want to just kill things, I can just... I'm bad at Tracer, but you get the idea, right? You can just delete people and then blink away, or alternatively, this is not my correct bindings for this character. So this needs to be here, this needs to be here, this needs to be here. But, like, you know, you can do things, and then stuff like that. You could also do similar stuff with Genji, and with Venture, though Venture it's not as simple. Why would you want to pick Sombra outside of being able to, like, cancel Sigma's ultimate? Because you don't flank it really anymore. Like, if you're good enough, you can make it work. But, like, at this point, your job is... Look at see this guy? That's what you do. That is what you're supposed to do now. And that's not really what Sombra has ever been doing. That's not who Sombra is, in my opinion. Right, I like bullying Doofus. But yeah, like, that has never been Sombra. Sombra's never been a tank shredder. She's been able to help disable tanks and make it to where they can't do things, but her job has never been to directly melt their health bars. We have other characters for that. Sojourn can do that. Bastion can do that. Fucking Mongoth can do that. Why do we want Sombra to do the same thing? You know? So that's kind of my issue with current Sombra. They said the things that make Sombra so special, so different from everyone else in the roster, aren't allowed anymore. Like, you still technically have hack, you still have that brief silence, you still have the reveal through walls, you still have translocator, you still have stealth, but everything is so drastically different and so much weaker than it was in Overwatch 1 that it just feels bad. So I've actually also, like, in my own time, before deciding to make this video, threw together an idea for a rework for Sombra, because, you know, I do want her to be not busted, but I also want her to feel like, kind of like old Sombra. And I think something they should have tried before they started changing how Translocator and Stealth worked was just reintroduce the duration limits that she had when she was first added to Overwatch 1. So, like, uh, you know, that 8-second stealth, that 10 to 15-second Translocator, though I would make the stealth probably 10 to 15, and then Translocator also 10 to 15, probably the shorter cooldown. I don't know. Anyway, like, I would do that. I would introduce timers so that she can still plan ahead. She can set herself up and then go and then kind of wait for the right opportunity, but she's still on a timer, so she has to pick a right time to do that. And then she is guaranteed to leave eventually, and at that point she has downtime because like the cooldown of Translocator would be based off of after you teleport or it gets destroyed. Which it can no longer be destroyed, by the way. That was removed when they made it function like this. But yeah. Yeah. So what I would do for a full rework for Sombra, I would probably try and lean into her having a slightly more accurate weapon than Tracer. Like, it is already slightly more accurate. I think something you could do to make her feel a little nicer is reduce the spread a little more. And then, to compensate for that and change this to hack, reduce the damage a bit. And then, so Virus would be gone. And instead, its damage over time would be applied immediately upon hacking someone. You could theoretically have it be to hack them more than once, but that would either be worthless because you can't hack them soon enough, or it would be annoying because you'd be able to hack multiple people and just you wouldn't make use of the damage. So you finish hacking and immediately does some damage over time, and I would make it last for 2 seconds and also have the silence last for 2 seconds. That way, you know, you can have you could have the damage and the silence. The silence would feel actually useful because as it stands right now, all this little button right here is to cancel stuff like Blue's Block or Sigma's Ultimate or Arisa's Ultimate or Reinhardt's Charge, stuff like that. Like, you're not using it to get a threat out of the fight unless you count doing this as getting a threat out of the fight, which technically that is what that is. But hey, cat, could you not sling your spit on me? Thank you. Good grief. But yeah, like fun stuff. Then I would have stealth back on ability. Translocator would have the same projectile speed, but it would be able to land and sit there for a while. Have the original Overwatch 1 Sombra stealth and Translocator. Though I wouldn't have... So, something I forgot to mention about Overwatch 1 stealth. When she was first added, she was able to contest while in stealth, but when they made it in Last Forever, that they also made it where you can no longer contest. Also, another thing I would probably want done, you see this little circle around me? Back in Overwatch 1, you had to be, like, right here in order to see Sombra while she was in stealth. But in Overwatch 2, they increased it to be that far, and I think actually at one point it was even longer, which is just ridiculous in my opinion. Like, why should I be revealed just by getting vaguely near someone? Let me walk through doorways without being seen, please. She's supposed to be sneaky. That's not sneaky. That circle is not sneaky. It's not like it was that hard to deal with the Sombra anyway. But then EMP, I would take away the burst damage and I would have it silence for 4 seconds with damage over time that lasts for 4 seconds. It would be the same DPS as the hack, but it would be, you know, twice as much damage because it's twice as long of a duration. And yeah, uh, I just want Sombra to feel like a utility DPS again, because like my big issue that I have with Overwatch 2 right now, well, aside from tanks being raid bosses because 5v5 was a mistake, which is a discussion for another time, is that like damage, damage, damage. That's the name of the game here. Like, let's just look at the two new DPS that we have. You have Sojourn, who is damage champion, well, damage to hero, so you go have a thingy, which for some reason charges my railgun. I don't really know why that didn't hit, because I'm not looking at the right screen. Like, you just kind of you just do constant damage, and then
this ends now. I warned you.
which is just, she does a lot of damage. Also, I will always hate that railgun has absolutely no downtime. Like, as long as you're doing damage, you can railgun. There's no ammo cost, there's no cooldown, but that's just my issue with Sojourn. Then, like, Venture. I love Venture, but they are also damage to character. That does 100 damage. That does roughly 100 damage. That does 80 damage. This does like 70 damage. Like, they do so much damage. They just do so much damage. And like, I get it, they are damage champions. But why so much of it? Why is every single button a damage button? Like, I think something interesting they could do with Venture, I'm not saying that they should do it, but like something interesting they could do is Burrow, like remove the ability to contest while in Burrow, remove the damage on Burrow, and make it last forever. So you can just like hang out and then decide when to go in. You can be more meticulous about it. I don't necessarily think they should do it, but it would be interesting, and I would certainly have fun with it because I want to burrow. I want to hang out underground. I want to be a little mole rat. But like also like going into Overwatch 2, Mei lost her ability to freeze with her primary fire, but they gave her more damage on it. And since people were using this so much, they decided to also, well, and also with the HP changes, they decided that that would be a good idea. They added more damage to her icicles for reasons beyond me.
Double kill.
Which means, you know, Tracer gets absolutely bodied still. Like, yeah, she lives a headshot, but just a headshot. Literally just a headshot.
I'm sorry.
Any other tickle damage will kill her. And it's just kind of... It's weird. Anyway, this is not a video about Mei. Like, you could play any other any damage champion and do a bunch of damage with them. Theoretically, at least. Like, I like that Sombra was a low damage because she made up for that with all her utility. Some of which wasn't even, like, visible utility, because since she could be in stealth and lurk around, she could give a ton of information to her team. You know, if you're lurking in the right behind the enemy team in stealth, you could be like, oh, this is where they're going. I heard one of them use their ult line. That person has their ultimate. They just used this ability. You can give out information without having to actively put yourself in much risk. Which makes sense, considering Sombra is a hacker. She's all about that information. We've all seen the one animation where she blackmails the Latyavolskaya, you know, that lady, which is where we get the boop. Like we've all seen that, right? and she's an infiltrator. That's her entire thing. But now she's just let me kill you as fast as possible, like every other DPS in the fucking game, and I don't like that. Why are we not allowed to have uniqueness? And it's like supports don't have this problem as much. Like, you know, Lifeweaver, you know, he has. Oh, these are not my normal bindings. Fuck. But like, ew. I have to fix this before I can properly show him off. I hate. Oh, I hate. So, that's fine. I need to put... Sorry for the delay here. I just hate all of this. I hate the default settings for him. Like, you know, you have your things, you have your pedal platform that is really useful for a lot of stuff. You can do this, but even with all this uniqueness that I love about Lifeweaver, they did also give him ridiculous levels of damage output, because gods forbid any character not have ridiculous damage unless their name is Mercy. Mercy's the only character not allowed to have good damage, and yet they still kept giving her extra ammo in Overwatch 2. Because of reasons that are completely beyond me. And like Juno, she's really strong right now, so she's kind of a problem. But like, she has damage, she has healing, but she also, you know, has her mobility, and she has her glide ring, which her glide ring's some useful stuff. Kiriko, she's quite strong.
Find my own path.
Oh yeah, I already did damage to those. Also, I am annoyed with Kiriko because, like, I'll do a video about Kiriko at some point, but like, why did her body shots do 60 damage? But like she does have Suzu, which is nice to have for a... Oh, what the heck? Suzu's nice as a utility button, even though I wish it didn't heal. Okay, anyway. But then we still have Iriari, who is all about that damage. She does all damage all the time. Ignore me being bad at the video game. Like, she throws that out to help do some healing. She can do this for healing, but even her ultimate is just damage. And like, I like that. I do like that we have a support who is primarily here to do damage. But it is something that the game is just damage character after damage character. And I mean, look at frickin' Manga. Like, let's grab a Manga to just delete from the video game real quick. He does so much damage, and for what good reason? Why should a tank be a tank buster? And that's kind of my problem that I have with Overwatch 2. Everyone except for Mercy does a ton of damage. And like, it makes sense. You have to do damage to win. But let's have some variety. Let's have some extra flavor that's not just, oh, this is how you do damage. Like, this is your method of doing damage. That doesn't feel unique enough. Like, yeah, it's technically unique. Like, having the virus for the damage over time, having the hack for the bonus damage, like, those are unique aspects to Sombra, but it's a version of uniqueness I don't particularly like for her. I liked the low damage, high utility.
Catch you later.
But I think I have rambled for long enough. It somehow managed to be longer than my first one, probably because I had more pauses for my brain not functioning. But yeah, I am glad to finally have stuff set up so that I can easily do these little avatar things because uh trying to edit this manually was a pain. It took me like 10, 20 something minutes to do 4 minutes out of a 27-minute video. That I did not feel like taking hours on this. uh yeah, I am curious what people think of the little rework. I'm not a game designer or anything. I just like Sombra. I like playing the video game. I have opinions, and like I have shared it with friends who play Sombra, and like one of them is the reason that the whole hack a second time to get the damage instead of the silence was a thought, even though I dismissing it. Because he was apprehensive about having it just instantly do damage, which like I get. Virus, I mean, hack is not exactly a skill shot, but it is fairly short range. You have to be about this far away in order to hack. Manga, please stop being hacked. Okay, so you oh okay, never mind. So you can hack from this far away, which is it's a decent amount of space. So this is 10 meters. You can hack from like roughly 15 meters away, but that is still a not particularly long range. And like, of course, I did like theorize having lower damage on the weapon to help compensate. Plus, like, who knows how much damage it would do. But like the other person who I shared the idea with thought it would be perfect. Like, and just like it would be a perfect way to make Sombra actually function in a way that is fun for the Sombra, and but not unfair for the enemy. In any case, this should be the end of the video. I still don't know how to do outros. Uh, also, let me know if you like enjoy the avatar, I guess. Um, yeah, I think that's everything. Let me get this video ended.